Hey guys, it's Alexander, and today I am talking about the RED DSMC PRO I/O module. Let's go. So let's dial things back 10 to 13 years ago when RED released the DSMC cameras. That was RED Epic, RED Scarlet, and then eventually RED Dragon. Now, in order to make those cameras more future-proof, RED also added on the Pro I/O module. Now, this gave productions a lot more flexibility with having internal audio from XLR, having genlock and timecode. That was great for broadcasting and commercial productions, and also too, it just gave a lot more features and plug-in power without the need for additional third-party accessories to get this thing production and broadcast ready. Now for me, fast forward to today, I am a second gen or third gen, whatever you want to call it, RED owner, where this is my first camera, but this is a well-used RED Dragon, and I picked it up for fairly cheap online because they're going insanely cheap compared to what they used to cost when they were brand new. Yet because of how ahead of its time these cameras were, they still offer today much more value over today's cameras in a lot of areas. No camera is the perfect camera, but when it comes to what features you're looking for, these older RED cameras offer a lot of bang for your buck. Along with that, a lot of the accessories that you might want to add on to your camera rig to make it more functional to suit your production needs, you can look online and get a lot of these original modular RED accessories for fairly cheap compared to what they used to cost brand new. I've had my eye on the Pro I/O module for a while, not so much because I am needing internal audio. The RED Dragon or the RED Epic already comes with internal audio. It has two 1/4-inch ports on the front of the camera brain that you can plug in, either a lav or maybe a shotgun mic, but the only catch is that those mics need to have internal power from them because the camera cannot provide phantom power. So I've tried to use mics before in the past that don't have a built-in battery, and they just would not work with the RED Dragon. Typically what I've done up until now is whenever I have a production, I'll usually use my Rode Go wireless mics, which have their two lav mics, but they also sync to a wireless receiver that I can plug into the camera directly, and that thing is self-powered, so that instantly gives me internal audio whenever I'm doing an interview with the RED Dragon. However, I've also kind of been wanting to do XLR straight into camera, just as another source of audio. So in comes the Pro I/O module, which offers two XLR ports and one XLR out. Now, I've been looking at this online. I can't really fully justify needing it, but I kind of wanted it because for me, part of my experience on this camera is because number one, it's a really great value for the money, but number two, I've also been a really long time RED fan. I've always wanted one of their cameras, but could never afford it. So when it came time to being able to own one of these cameras, I really jumped on it. And along with that, I made it a goal for myself to keep this camera as stock as possible with a lot of the RED specific proprietary accessories, just because this is part of a history. It's part of cinema history. So for me, it was only a amount of time before I wanted to buy the Pro I/O module to add on to my RED Dragon kit. Now this is really cool because obviously there's not a whole lot about this adapter or this module online. If you look it up, there's not a whole lot of information on it, maybe on RED's website, but not from other YouTubers. So I wanted to try and put this out there for anyone who's in my shoes wanting to upgrade or kit out their RED Scarlet, their RED Epic, their RED Dragon. And I wanted to kind of give a little bit more information about what this module is, what it feels like, what the build quality, and what it can do, and just who this might be suited for. Instantly, when I first came across this, I was looking online for at least the last year, looking for one of these, and I would see them online, maybe like 500 bucks, 600 bucks, used obviously. And for me, I just couldn't justify spending that much on a part that I may not use all that often. But I came across a bid listing on eBay for this for a really great value price, and I just had to jump on it. And the moment that it shipped and arrived, I opened up the box and I felt this and I was like, dude, this is actually like really heavy. I wouldn't say it's like a brick, but it honestly has some weight to it. I think for me, I kind of just assumed, oh, this is just an audio module. I can't imagine it being that heavy for just being audio, right? But this is like the weight of like a pretty heavy cinema lens. I'm not gonna lie. The build quality, it's metal. It's made out of the same material that the Red Epic and Red Dragon is. So the body, the build quality, the construction quality of this is actually pretty robust. Here is a look from the front. Here is a look from the other side. It's just a flat wall. Then you have the adapter side where it connects to the camera. And your other V-mount battery. On the top of the module, you have, I want to say 5 quarter 20 mounting brackets, mounting points, where you could put like, you know, maybe a wireless transmitter for video. You could mount something like a light maybe. I probably wouldn't rig a top handle back here just because I feel like this is not the, it's a really strong connection, but I just wouldn't trust myself, or I wouldn't trust the kit to rig a handle here. But you could mount something lightweight, I would probably say. And then additionally, you have a fan on top as well, but then you also get one additional port for your EVF or RED monitor. On the bottom, you have a secondary fan as well as your locking nut that connects to the camera just like this, and you twist it and it locks. So that's kind of cool. Now, additionally, on the main port side, where all of the action is kind of happening, you have genlock, you have PGM, you have preview, AES, 2 XLR in, 1 XLR out, timecode, GPIO, power, and auxiliary power. Now, I cannot tell you what half of these do, to be honest, because most of the stuff is for broadcast, which is not in my line of work. But the things that I'm concerned about are more so the 2 XLRs in, the 1 XLR out, time code, and then also power and the EVF LCD port up there as well too, and also the quarter 20. So those are the only ports that I can see myself really using in my production line of work. But maybe for broadcast, this might work for you. What's really great about this is that I think what I really enjoy the most about the RED ecosystem, especially with DSMC1, is that RED made it a point to really make their system so modular and customizable. And I feel like that really speaks to each individual filmmaker, because everyone has, you know, while we all work on a variety of productions, no production is the same, and no shooter has the same style or approach to filmmaking as another person. So, you know, for one shoot, you may want to build this out because maybe you're doing a feature film or a short film where you need to have a bigger kit, a bigger camera, maybe you're doing more shoulder rig stuff. And so this module helps to kind of counterbalance your shoulder rig, which is really nice. Additionally, you know, if you wanted to strip this down to do a gimbal shot, you can take all the modules, all the batteries, the monitor, the top handle, everything off to make this as trimmed down as possible for a gimbal setup. So I think that's one thing that I really appreciate about RED. You can build this out, you can have it trimmed down, you can have it all in one go if you wanted to go that way with the different camera. But every filmmaker is different about how they want to build their camera. And I just love the fact that I have that customizability to be able to just lock this on, and all of a sudden, you know, along with a screw right here, this guy is good to go. You know, it's that easy. So I really appreciate that as well. You know, you pop this on, and then you have the V-mount on the back. You pop that on, and then boom, you're good to go. You have to just lock the bottom, you know, with the screw, because that helps to kind of lock it in place. But again, RED makes it so easy to make this modular that, you know, even on the day of your production, you can just slap this on and it's good to go. But again, so I'm going to give you a quick test because you're here to see what this module is all about, what it's like, and honestly, what it even sounds like. So I'm going to cut to a shot of me on the RED, and I want you guys to hear how my audio sounds going straight from camera. So here is the audio straight into the Pro IO module. There's no post effects, there's no noise reduction, no EQs, no compressors, nothing. This is straight raw audio from the camera. I wanted to give you guys a pretty honest or transparent idea of what the audio sounds like straight from camera, because I know some of you will probably use this for either a documentary shoot or a wedding or maybe a narrative scene. So you know, this is kind of a good idea of what this module can do and what it sounds like. I know for my shooting, I typically do a lot of weddings, some doc work, and some, clothing shoots, things like that. And so for me, I probably won't use this module with my Red Dragon all the time, but it is nice to have, considering that it does look pretty cool on the camera, but more importantly, it helps to counterbalance the weight of the camera when you're going handheld or on a shoulder rig. So that's kind of nice as well too. I love the fact that this Pro audio module comes with a lot of other ports and features too, like timecode and genlock. So, and also too, you get not one, but two XLRs in, one XLR out. So a lot of really cool features with this. Definitely recommend if you are a Red fanboy like myself and a collector of the Red DSMC1 series accessories, then this might be for you. I know for me, I was looking online for a good while and I would see them online maybe for 500 bucks used, maybe more. And I typically held off because I didn't want to spend that much on this module until I found a really good deal recently and I snagged one. So for me, it was worth it. For you guys, it may not be as worth it, but if you are looking for a solution for getting audio straight into camera for the Red Epic or Red Dragon, or even Red Scarlet, this definitely does work. The build quality is constructed very well. It's metal. I feel like if you were to drop this, it would hold itself up pretty good. And as far as features go and what it could do in the quality of this module, it holds up really well today, even for today's technology. So for me, it's a really good value purchase, especially if you want to really kit out your Red Dragon or Red Epic much bigger. This is the best way to do it. So guys, that was the audio from the Pro I/O module. I know this review wasn't super technical or in depth, but I know that there wasn't a whole lot of information on this out there, and I want to at least give you guys something about my experience using this. Now, I know that this isn't quite for everybody, but if you are considering this, this might be a great value for you guys. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, leave me a comment guys, and I will see you next time.